Let's get corrupted. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Joe with Meteoric Serpents coming back at you for another episode of the Colubrid Corruption podcast. Guys, today is a very awesome special episode. We have international guests here, Mattia and Augusta of Colubra Reptiles. So super excited to have them on. We get to have a little bit of perspective from the other side of the world, which I don't think we as Americans get to see too much. So very curious to talk with them and see what the colubrid world is like on their side. Plus I know they do a lot of like importing, exporting, stuff like that to here. So super curious to hear about that. Guys, as usual, all my social medias are down below. Make sure you go follow me on there. More importantly, make sure you hit that like on today's podcast. Hit that subscribe button so you know every single time we go live. We usually do it on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. But obviously I wanted to accommodate to the time difference, so we're doing it a bit early today. You can watch and listen to this everywhere once these are done, because all of our podcasts are available on the podcasting platforms, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, some other platforms as well. I have them go to a bunch of different places. So if you search it up online, you will find it somewhere. Also, guys, I do have Meteoric Serpents t-shirts available. So if you are interested in that, let me know and I could get one out to you. Also, Morph Market, go give my page a follow. We're hopefully going to have some more animals. I'm down to 2 animals left. Not that I had a crazy amount in the first place, but Morph Market has been good to me lately, so which is awesome. Also, guys, make sure you're supporting USARK. Support USARK Florida. These are the organizations that help to fight for our rights as reptile keepers, reptile owners, business owners, all of that, preventing against any federal or state regulations on what reptiles we can keep and what we can't keep and all that stuff. So make sure you go support, join USARK, join USARK Florida. Also, guys, if you are looking to diversify your colubrids diet or any of your animals' diet for that matter, make sure you go check out Blake's Exotic Feeders on Instagram. Blake is local to me. He does the quail. Really love giving my colubrids quail and diversifying between quail and rodents, mice. I think it's super healthy, super beneficial to diversify that diet. So yeah, make sure you go do that. Last but not least, guys, before we get started and say what's up to the chat, first link in the description below is the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. If you want to support me, if you want to say thank you for this show, also some behind the scenes and exclusive stuff will be available for Meteoric Serpents Patreon members. Along with that, just a way to build a community of awesome reptile keepers. So if that's something you're interested in, click that very first link down there and check it out. Let's see who is here in the chat. Luca, I'm assuming that is Augusta's family by the last name. What is up? Thank you so much for being here. Adam from Ivory Colubrid Co., thank you for being here. What is up? Rock on Reptiles. What is up, man? Facts. The shirts are fire. So if you want one, let me know. Last, we got Don D in the building. All right, guys, without further ado, let's bring our guests on. Let's welcome Colubrid Reptiles. What is up, guys? How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Everything fine here.
Over the pond.
Over the pond. The other side of the pond. Everything okay.
Yes.
The light is shining, so it's okay.
Awesome. It's great to hear. So, judging by your guys' accents, you're fellow Italians like me. That's awesome. Love that.
We are so Italian, but
yeah.
Wait, connection problems.
Yes.
Where is your family coming from? From the south or from the north, or don't know?
I have family. I know from Sicily. I know some is from
Sicily, yeah.
Yeah. I believe Naples as well.
So we are pretty close. We are pretty
Yes.
close.
Yeah. I don't always remember because it again, we're quite a few generations Americanized. I know it was like great great grandparents that came from Italy. So a few generations off.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So where
Right.
are you
Yeah.
guys?
Many Italians in the past went to USA.
Yeah. And guys, my apologies both for you and the chat. I think there's a bit of a delay, which probably makes sense because of the location difference, but that's okay. We'll
Yeah.
work through it. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yes.
okay. We
We are
just relax
we
about
are
it.
adapting, you know.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
Nope.
We are
It's
too
all good.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And then can you
So
tell me where you guys are located now? And then where
We are
the company is
located
based.
in yes, the official company is in Belgium, you know,
Okay.
for all the legal staff and
Gotcha.
bureaucracy, you
bureaucracy,
know,
yeah,
stuff like this.
paperwork.
But the facility now is in Spain, and we have it in
Awesome.
it's Malaga. Yeah, it's Andalusia, south of Spain, close by Malaga.
We kind of live on the sea, you know.
Yeah.
We spent 4 years in Belgium and we start our company over there. It was amazing. Like to start the company is one of the best places in Europe, and
Right.
everything went smooth. But once we grown enough, we say, okay, we can live.
We can choose a better life,
Yes,
you know,
we can choose
Okay.
where
better
you
place to
want. So
live. Yeah, so
we-
that's
we're moving on.
yeah, was the main reason that we moved on
We
in
are
Spain.
Italians, so we need the sun
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
warm weather and good food, and so
course.
we just moved in a better place.
Yeah, but that's the reason. If you can choose, you choose. You know, it's like this.
Right.
If you have the opportunity to have a better life, you directly go there. You know, I think
Of
it's
course.
quite normal for everyone. Yes,
Of
so
course.
that's why
And-
now we are here.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a lot easier in Europe to kind of go between countries than it is like, you know,
Yes,
someone from like the US. Like if you're from somewhere in Europe, it's just very easy to go between the borders and move and do stuff like
yeah,
that, correct?
it's European community. Yes, you can do.
Okay.
You can move all around. You know. Yeah.
But I have a
Got it.
note about that. Like Europe sounds to be more easy on this side. Like you can just cross countries without
Right.
any issues and something. But we have something that is a bit of bad point. You don't have that in the USA. You have a shipping company like FedEx, so you buy a reptile today and the day after you get it shipped. And
Yeah.
here in Europe, we don't
No,
have
it's
such
just
kind of
just
things.
you know, like private courier, or I don't know.
We
Okay.
need to wait for reptile expos, which
Yes.
is normally every couple of months. So
Yeah.
if I buy a reptile from France, for example, we just need to wait for the next reptile expo to get it delivered. We don't have such
Yeah.
couriers or something.
The system
Got it.
now, it's like we have two big shows in Europe. One is in Germany, one is in Holland, and that's the
Okay.
meeting point. You know, everyone goes there and you know make deals and
And exchange
Exchange.
and everything.
that's
Yeah.
the system now that we have in Europe. Of course, we have also like small couriers driving all around Europe, but there is nothing really official, you know, that
But
can
we love
transport it.
FedEx.
Yes, well, FedEx is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. FedEx is pretty
Sometimes
good.
we
You know,
just
even
make it, but-
yeah. You know, even when there's delays sometimes, you know, we are kind of blessed in the fact that we have a system where we can, you know, send and receive reptiles overnight.
Yeah.
That's crazy for European. It's something that it's
Yes.
like that's the other side of the pond for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before, like almost like 1 year ago in Spain, you had like a system like this, like to transport animals.
But
you know?
was into Spain, you
Yeah,
know?
only in Spain, but it was
Okay.
good because like in you deliver the animals in the night, they travel. The day after was like in Madrid, Barcelona. I'm talking about like 800 kilometers, 900 kilometers. But at the point they quit because in Spain is going on a new law about animals
Okay.
welfare, stuff like this. And this
Got it.
company quit and but it's quite, I mean, they fix it because of course a lot of couriers, they get profit of the situation and they start to grow a bit more, the problem here, I want to tell you this, in Europe the biggest problem is the animal welfare, man. They are going crazy about.
Okay.
Do you know about
They wanna
PETA?
like PETA, PETA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own version, or is it still PETA over there as well? That you have your own?
No, it's
version
No,
of
PETA
PETA?
over here as
Oh,
well.
but
okay.
it's PETA, but also all other, like how to say,
The WWF, for example.
WWF.
I don't know if you know them, but
Okay.
we have so many organizations,
Yes.
and each country has a special one,
Yep.
And I think they have a lot of money and lawyers and everything to try to stop the reptiles.
They want to stop it, man.
They just want to stop
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
we are hoping that someone is fighting all together, and it's not easy because people in Europe like to go like under table, they say, okay, they're going to
Right.
make this kind of law. I'm not able to do this anymore. I'm going to find another way.
Yes.
They're not the kind of people that go and fight for it,
Got it. Okay.
But that's another problem of Europe, because Europe is so big. And for example, in the US, there is only one, like only one language. Probably the culture is quite the same. Europe is not like this. You go in Italy, it's Italy. You go in Greece, it's different culture and language. You go in Holland, it's completely different. It's another word. You go in Sweden, it's not Europe. I mean, it's very different.
Yeah.
So to put all together, it's quite impossible.
The communication is hard. We don't have a common language, and lots of people don't speak English. Like we do because we were forced to do for our job. But most of the people that don't really, especially Italians or people from Spain or southern countries, they don't really speak English a lot.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's hard to get a common thing to fight for,
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem in Europe right now, but of course for the reptile, but also for other things, But
we keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before we dive too deep, and I definitely want to do a deep dive on all that stuff, can you guys kind of give the origin of where all the reptile hobby started for you guys? Like, how did you guys get into reptiles, and how'd that get to where you are today? Go ahead.
Ladies first. Ladies
first, because I'm the romantic one of the situation. So me and Mattia were first met like 12 years ago. 12 years, it's a long time. We are kind of young, so 12 years. I was 21 back then, and I met Mattia because I was already into the reptiles hobby. I was a car snake lover as a beginner. And I saw an advertise on one of our Italian forums, that a guy close to my city was selling a pair of car snakes. And then I was like, I'm going to buy those snakes. And then I went to Mattia to buy those snakes. And then at the end, it happens. He just showed me his snake, and we felt a love.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
we meet like by dealing, something.
No, that's a great story.
So
that's awesome.
12 years,
yeah, that's really good, man.
But at the beginning, it wasn't a job. Like at the beginning, it was more kind of just pure hobby and passion, and both of us were like trying with all our energies to live in Naples, which is one of the the poorest city of Italy right now. So we were trying our best to do something. Mattia was a guitar player, and I was studying at university. So we were trying to survive. And then at the point, we just say, okay, we're gonna do something about the love we have for reptiles. We just trying that, keep going, and eventually it became into our dream job. But it got time, a lot of sacrifices, leaving family and friends behind. So it took a lot of years to get at the point that we are here now.
Yeah, around 10 years probably. Yeah.
Okay.
To arrive at the point where we are now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was,
so this is your guys'
Oh.
Yeah. So this is your guys' full-time gig. Is your full-time job?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
There is no time to do other things.
But I think it's been just like 4 years that we do this, like completely the only job that we have. Because before in Belgium, we did, both of us, 2 full-time jobs. We both of us worked in factories and fabrics and stuff like this. And at the same time, we had reptiles. So then we started Colubra. And Mattia first left his main job, and then I left after. So we had to, swimming in the sea, and eventually we succeed. But it was like 2-3 years that we had 2 full-time jobs. It was hard because with reptiles, even if you don't make money at the first, but it's still a job. Snakes still need to eat and get cleaned and everything,
Right. So what was how are you guys like structuring the collection? How were you building to make that into, the full-time dream? Like what were you guys collecting? What was the species, the animals, and then
I also have a point. Then I leave the words to Mattia a bit. But we had an idea at the beginning that was our main market. It's with the Asian customers, so they kind of buy in bulks and they buy lots of animals. So we just kind of tried to follow them. And one year they wanted 1,000 car snakes, 1,000 bull snakes, and we tried to buy them to build our collection up. But when the animals reached the maturity to breed, which was like 3-4 years old, the Chinese didn't want them anymore because the market was saturated. So we were like, we are doing something wrong, because every time we arrive at the point that we are like, yes, this year we're going to make 100 of this, they're like, oh no, I want something else. So we kind of had to adapt on this market, and we had to understand that we had to focus on the species that we like. Especially Mattia likes, because he is the breeder and the keeper. So he has the first word on what we has to keep and breed. And for this reason, we started our resale job, because we have to make our customers happy. That's my main job. And the job of Mattia is to make our reptiles happy. So we kind of match in this. So for this reason, we had to understand that we had to focus on what we really like to do. But also we need to give the chance to our customers to get from us kind of whatever they want, or almost everything where it is possible. So we started this buy and resell from a lot of suppliers from like USA. A lot of people sell us animals, and then we resell to Chinese, but also to Europe. Sometimes people say, is this born at your facility or you did import it? Like, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
A surprise. So, we just had to face with the fact that the market, it's not flat, it's not standing, it's changes.
Each year always change. There is always something to...
The taste of customers change.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's also another thing. You cannot have all the species and all the morphs and all the... It's impossible, man.
We tried and failed.
You need like a huge facility, big like a city, and to breed them and make it's impossible to supply all the amount of customers that we have all around the world. It's too much animals.
We need suppliers, because otherwise wouldn't be possible to
there is no
run
other
our company.
There is no other option. It's impossible to supply, because they ask for probably 10,000. I don't know.
They have no limits. As many as animal you have that they like, they will just buy. So our breeding, it's now focused on species that me, but mostly Mattia, likes to keep and breed. So
and also the fact at the point we say, let's make it, I don't like to make it too big. If you start to make it too big, it's an industry. It's not anymore hobby. It's not anymore, don't enjoy anymore as hobbies. It's just an industry. They produce probably 20,000 babies each year, which is crazy, but with workers and stuff you can do it. But for me, it's not fun anymore, and it's not for us. I mean, we are not I don't know.
I have to make a little, I have to say a little thing about that you see, both of us, we look like very well balanced, but it's because we are very different between each other. Like Mattia is a pure hobbyist.
I'm still like this since 30 years. My mind is
Mattia is the one who likes terrariums. Mattia is the one who wants to see the animals in their environment, bioactive terrariums, and he loves that.
Because I'm old school, For me, it's like this. I started like this before there were no racks, nothing. Just okay. I bought this snake. Okay. Or before, let's prepare big terrarium, the lamps, the plants, the rocks. I'm still like this. I can't go out of this.
On the other side, I was asking Mattia, but man, I have to make my customers happy, because I'm the one who takes care of the customers. So if they ask me this species, I have to provide them. So we need to find a way. And this way, we're like, I have to say a big thank you to the USA community, because I found there the best suppliers of reptiles ever. One of this is our friend Jonathan from Palm Beach Colubrids. Jonathan and Michael are like one of the best, really the best that we could ever meet, but many others just help us to make our customers happy. But Mattia was like, after many years of trying to put more species into our breeding, okay, let's try with Goniosoma boulangeria, let's try with bull snakes, and then let's have our favorite species, which is the king rat snakes, and then let's put barrel racer and this. After a while, we were like, Mattia told me, look, Augusta, there are two options. Or we get employees, or we stop doing this. I can breed, but in order to do it in an ethic way and in a good way, I have to reduce species, because each species needs different requirements of other ones.
First, you need different rooms. You can't keep, for example, bull snakes with
Dreamarchon.
I don't know. Yes,
let's say
you can't. So at the point you need more space, and everyone needs different temperature. Some they need hibernation, the other one doesn't need hibernation. At the point you go crazy, because it's too much information.
So we found this balance.
Or you have the other option, like, okay, let's find the species that can sell very easy and you can make money, and let's breed only this species. Like most of the big breeders, they do like this, like, okay, let's breed Ognos. Okay, each year 2,000 Ognoses, but it's only one species. It's easy. There is nothing to think about. You enter in the room, you have 10 rooms. Okay, but it's still the same room.
But it's not what we wanted.
But I can't. It's not for me.
I'm with you. I think.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I think diversity is so important.
IKEA,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think diversity and having different species is so much fun. That's what it is to me. I love having different species because if I had only one thing, I'd get
Yeah.
bored.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. At one point, you say, "Pff, no, that's not enough for me," you know. So that's what we did. But I think we are one of the very fewer company. I can say worldwide. I'm not sure about, but I can say that we can offer to our customers a kind of huge variety of species because we know with the people that we are working with, you know. So if someone comes to us and say, "Hey, Colubra, I would like to get a potato chip snake. Can you help me?" We will find the
Yeah.
supplier for it and we will help you. Not just because we don't breed that we cannot give it to you. So
But
that's the
Right.
balance we found
but
about it.
also because we select a lot the people where we buy from, you know. We
Okay.
really select them and say, okay, that's a good breeder. The quality of the animals, it takes cares a lot, you know, a serious person. Okay, we can work with, because when you buy a snake from us, for example, you buy a snake from us, you don't know if, so I need to give you the quality.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter from who it comes
You know,
from because there is our name on
the
it. So
customer just take care of the fact that they are buying from Colubra. That's the only
Okay.
thing that they know. So the only option that we have is to buy from good supplies, good responsible
people, yeah.
breeders. That's the secret, you know, to don't have
Right.
to make a customer happy.
Sometimes we fail, but then we
Yeah,
get back on our
Okay.
tracks.
Yeah.
mistakes can happen. You know, we are humans.
Yeah.
We made mistakes every time. You know, I mean, it's life. But like on 100 snakes, for example, you can have a problem with one snake, for example, you know, which is nothing probably. Yeah. So,
That's good.
Right. Yeah. And
so
now
it's you have to think a lot.
right.
Tell
And
me.
you guys had mentioned you work with a lot of USA suppliers in terms of animals.
Many.
Yeah.
Um yeah, are there a lot of breeders in Europe or businesses in Europe that are doing what you guys are doing, or are you guys probably one of the biggest out there?
I think for import export, we have some importers in Europe, maybe two or three, including us, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, but not
Okay.
much,
Not
really.
much.
No.
Import export is not an easy job. Like you need a
Right.
lot of
Paperwork, you
yes,
know.
lot of logistics stuff and
Yeah.
everything. But as I told you before, it's not an easy job to be able to make all your customers happy. um, you can do import export, but then you can fail on breeding, and then you can do a very good breeding season, but then you make an import and you messed up. So that's where we found our balance with the job. In the past, we tried to say each other, "I'm gonna help your side, and you're gonna help my side." Because we are switched this way. Mattia is the keeper, Mattia is the breeder, Mattia is the one who makes the most important decision on our breeding seasons and everything that regards our own reptiles. I'm the one who takes care of the customers and of the logistic of the company. If we
Got it.
try to mix up the things, it's gonna be a mess because it's not because we don't have knowledge, but it's because of our interest. I'm more orientated about the customer. I'm more the person who talks with the people. I'm a very good seller. I can sell you my electronic cigarettes right now if you want. It's the best one. But Mattia is the one who tells me this snake it's gonna lay good eggs, or this snake this year it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we kind of made a very good balance, and for this reason we can offer our customers both rails, you know, but good, because each one is focused on a thing, and our import and export, when I have to do an import, I'm like 100% on it. It doesn't jump in because this would be a mess. And when it's breeding season, I don't jump on Israel because it will be a mess as well. So for this reason, I think in Europe there is not another company that can offer this, because to find two people that match together to make a bigger thing, it's not easy.
Yeah, if you think about, we are only two persons,
We are just
working in
two.
Colubra. We have no, sometimes at the reptile show, we have some guys help.
Yeah, we have helpers.
Yeah,
and
we have
workers.
helpers, but only at the reptile show. But all the rest we do
By ourselves.
by ourselves, just two
Got it.
persons,
We
Yes.
thought
we have
sometimes.
we have a good system.
Yeah, but we thought
Basically.
sometimes to hire people. But what I think is that what you do with your hands for your reptiles, nobody can do the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you have
Yes.
reptiles. So
People you can trust, people, it's so difficult to find, man. So we prefer to work a bit more, but we go directly to the result.
By
We don't have,
ourselves,
yes, it's better
Got
like
it.
this. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Now,
I have a
it's
question.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Which reptiles do you keep, Joe?
So I have I'd say my main colubrid species are the Texas rat snakes. I like those
Yeah.
guys. I work with like the scaleless ones and stuff and some of the other
I love it.
mutations. Yep. I also have a couple rhino rat snakes, which I want to ask you guys about. I definitely want to talk about those.
Yeah.
Also been getting big into the bamboo rat snakes, the cockseye.
Yeah.
The bamboo,
Coxsey,
yes.
High
yeah.
bamboos. Yep. Yeah, so those are some of the ones I'm working with. Also some ball pythons as well. But yeah, on the colubrid side, that's what I got. Definitely want to get into some more stuff. I'm always so intrigued when I see a ton of different things, but it's impossible to keep them all, right? I gotta grow slow and
Mattia say that he may want to show you a snake tonight.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, absolutely. You could show
Yeah.
it.
So we will check in a bit. He is going to
Okay.
But
check one.
a calm one, because I can't take like king rat snakes, because otherwise it would be a mess,
Okay.
They
That's
are
all
so
right.
big, so aggressive, they bite a lot, but a calmer one, we can show.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a shame,
So-
because I really like the species, the king rat snake, but they are crazy, man. You cannot tame them. It's impossible. It's
Right.
really impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some of them could be a little gnarly, but
No, not some of them. 99% of them.
Nasty, mean. They are very mean.
My God, man.
But that's something that can lead us away from the species, because the most frequent question that we get from our customers, but the new ones that are trying to approach to the hobby, it's like, I really like this snake. Does it bite?
No.
Yeah. It bites, it masks, and it's very aggressive and it's mean. But I can tame it. And the thing that I try to explain to some customers is that a snake doesn't like to sit on the couch with you and watch a TV show with you on the couch. It's a snake, so you have to let it be a snake.
The fact is, it's really shy species, That's the problem. It's
Right.
really shy. They want to stay like hidden always.
They don't like contact.
Yes. So in the moment you try to touch or grab them, they stress a lot. Really, they go
stress
crazy.
and they respond to it.
Yes.
They
They
have
are-
a
Yeah.
very
Yes.
high temperament about that.
I think that's very true with a lot of the Asian species. They seem to be
Yes.
very secretive.
Exactly.
They like to hide a lot, and they're definitely not happy. Like I could tell you with the bamboo rat snakes, like they're not happy when you touch them.
No,
Yeah,
no,
They're
no.
they're little missiles. They'll flip on you ASAP.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
so
know.
true.
Probably because they over there, like there is a lot of biodiversity, and probably there are a lot of how to say predators.
Predators. Yep.
I think that's the main reason. That's why they are so shy and they are very aggressive because it's the only option to survive in the wild there. I
Got
think
it.
that's the reason. Yeah.
Awesome. Before we get into some species, I want to shout out the chat. Thank you to everyone, especially the Europeans
Who's
that are
that? Oh, this is
here.
my
There's,
brother.
yeah,
It's my
Italy in the
brother.
house and some love from Portugal. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, guys, I really want to talk about the rhino rat snakes you have, just to start
Yeah.
off, because you guys have some of the beautiful blue ones, and just the wild colors that come on them. I know they're
Yeah.
super hard to get here in the U.S., and if I'm not mistaken, the blue rhinos are really mostly in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one of well, that's a funny story about blue rhino rats, because the moment that we found out that there were blue rhino rats on the market, we say we're gonna find the breeder, because we knew it was from Europe. We're gonna find the breeder and we're gonna buy them all. So when we found the breeder, I was the one who was talking with him. So I say, you have a deal with someone else. I'm this kind of person. I'm Italian. So I say, I don't mind. I will pay you more. I will just buy all your blue babies. And then after some of weeks that we were talking about, I found out that he was a very old friend of Mattia
Yeah.
from the old school terroristic, from
Yeah.
Europe. And he was like, you are the girlfriend of Mattia Firamoschi? I was like, yeah. Oh my God, tell him I'm Geddy Geddy. And I was like,
Yeah.
Geddy Geddy? And Mattia was like, Geddy
At
Geddy.
that time, like
So,
probably 20 years ago, it was very famous, because
20 years ago,
Yeah.
I was 12.
Yeah.
I was playing with the dogs, so I had no
and
idea.
and he had always new species, also frogs, salamander,
He is a
Well,
very old school breeder.
yes.
And this guy has those amazing blue rhino rats that if you see them in real, you're just like mind blowing. But he told us some kind of tricks. Like, the first thing we have to say about the blue rhino rats is a magic word: patience. You need to have patience with those snakes. Since they are small, they go through a very dramatic ontogenesis. So, like king rat snakes, the same as Goniosoma bulengeri, they take time to change color. You can see that they are different from the green ones, but I have to be honest, and I always tell to our customers that until they reach 4 or 5 years old, you will not see that blue.
Really?
They are blue.
Yeah.
Some can be blue even at 2 years old. It depends. And this doesn't change how blue they will be as adults. It's just a matter of ontogenesis, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And some people are like, at 2 years old, where is the blue? Where is the blue? You need to wait.
No, it's not really,
It's a very specific selection that they did on this kind of blue. We don't
but
think that
still
it's-
need
yeah.
to be selected.
Still need to be select, but you need time and you need to wait. Like, we have one female now that it's about 3 years old, and it's still, she is blue. Yeah, that's one of the breeder
Yeah.
from Lucas. And it's amazing. This is the male of the female that we keep here. And she's
Okay.
3 years old now. And she is like blue, but she's not that blue yet, because she needs to finish her ontogenesis. So some people say those pictures are fake. So we had the videos ready for them. Like, this isn't fake. That's
Okay.
how true. And one time, this guy Lucas sent one of these blue spacemen, a very adult male, in an expo in Canada. So many people had the chance to see him and finally see that they really exist, but they just take more time.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need to, I don't know, to understand it more, you know.
Yeah,
It's like the beginning,
Yeah.
you know, it's
He breeds them since long time. But being old school, he is a guy that says they need UV light, for example, like a blue
Okay.
rhino rats. It is blue. You will see that it's not a normal green, but the blue will get like pump up if you put it under an UV, you know?
Okay.
So
it helps a lot,
it
of course.
helps a
It
lot.
increases the color, of course.
Got
It's
it.
not a snake that can be kept in a rack in general because they are arboreal and they love to climb. And it's a snake that would need a bioactive terrarium with UV lights, and then you will see all its potential eventually.
Right. Right. So what do you guys suspect is going on with the actual blue coloration? Because I've heard a number of different things. Like, do you think it's an actual genetic mutation where it's like axanthic, so it's lacking yellow, hence making the blue, or is it just strict line breeding?
Can you just put again that picture that you
Yep.
showed us before
Hold
from
on.
our profile? I want to tell you something about that. That snake, who is the one who made the most blue rhino rats that are now in the USA. So that's the father, that's a male. If you look at it closely, he has lots of green and yellow spots on his body.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it well from here, but let's check. I don't know if you can see that, but like on the scales of the head and yeah, on the neck as well. He has a lot of yellow and green
Okay.
spots. And for us, this is the proof that this is not a genetic mutation, but it's though a kind of strong selection, or it can be even a locality, but I don't think it's a kind of accentism because
No,
otherwise
it's not a morph. Absolutely, it's
the
not a
yellow
morph.
wouldn't show up. And I also think that you can kind of keep selecting on the blue. I want to
Okay.
be clear. If you have two green rhino rats, you are not going to have any blue.
Yeah, sometimes you have also greens, but they have like
Blue chin.
blue neck, you know.
But
or
isn't the same.
it can appear also on the green ones, you know. So I
Yeah.
think it's really strong selection from the beginning. Someone find it probably in the wild, and they start to breed, or it appears.
Oh, I have an idea.
Which one? I have to go to drink a little bit.
Do you wanna take the melanistic goniosoma?
Yeah, there's that one too that I want to talk about.
Let's
yeah,
talk
'cause
about
you guys have that
I
one
asked
with a lot of
Mattia if you wanna take her. She's a bit
Yeah.
bitey and not very
Okay.
friendly, but I think because you are into rhino rats, you really deserve to see her.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that snake is insane. I've seen a few different pictures of it, and just with all the blacks on there, it looks like some of those designer green tree pythons. And I've joked
It is.
with people and said rhino rats are like the colubrid green tree python with the insane OCC that the color change that they get.
You never know.
Yeah.
But
And
the
even
thing
like
is
so
that,
one of go ahead.
no, say you go
No,
first.
I was gonna say. So one of the I picked up. I have two. One of them is like a 2.5-year-old female who I don't think is done yet with her color change, but I can kind of see, some different colors, and then I see pictures of other people's, and they have a bit different of a green color. Some of them are that really bright, like, I guess that lime green color. And then some of them are a little bit darker. Mine has a lot of the nice speckling in between the scales, which I really like. I kind of see
Yeah.
the
And
blues
is it
and the
a
whites
full
and the
adult?
black.
It
No,
is a
it's
full
only
adult?
two. No, she's only like 2.5
That's
years old.
because they take do you know Chinese king rat snake? They have a very long ontogenesis, so they take a lot of time to show their full color. But I think the snake that mostly go through a very long ontogenesis is the rhino rats. Like I think
Yeah.
rhino rats, until it reached the 5 years old, it will not show you the true final color. You can have some exception that at 3 years old they are kind of done, but most of them take a lot of time, and that's where you still see the black and the white and the pointing stuff. But as well, we were talking about in a few about the Hainanensis locality, the lime green ones that we also have.
Yeah.
We can show you. Oh, Mattia, it's coming.
I'm
Oh,
curious
he
about
got
the
beaten, of course.
Hainanensis. Okay.
So she
Let's see
is
if I
about 2 years old female. I'm gonna try to help him. He got bit. So I don't know if you can really see the color of their heads.
Yeah.
This clearly.
It's very
It's a
dark.
bit difficult because the how to say the resolution is not perfect, but
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's all right, but you could
it's not
definitely see
best.
how dark she is.
Yes, she's dark, but I'm sorry I cannot show this things on her head because it's like
Wow.
crazy. She looks like painted, really, you know.
Yeah.
But she's very nasty.
Okay. And did you guys produce that animal? Did you buy it?
No, we imported her from one of our imports from Asia, which is
Okay.
something that we also do for our European customers. So she came from this import from Asia, and it was one of our Chinese customers that one day said, "Hey guys, I have this rhino rat. Do you like it?" We like, what was that? And he said, I don't know. I just found it, and I found it special, so I took it home. It was a little snake back then. So it just went all the way through the Hong Kong to Europe, and now spending time in Spain. But she will soon go into the USA. She
Really?
was, yeah, she was sold to a USA customer.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, because I told you the fact that Mattia is the one who makes decision about our breeding, and it was at the point that say I want to focus on king rats and on blue racers and on bull snakes and goniosoma. We already have a species that takes so much to go through the ontogenesis, which is the king rats. So he
Right.
said, I don't want to spend years and years to find out what this snake is. We already worked a lot with king rats about that, and we still have work to do with them. So he said we can leave this project with someone else that we can follow eventually. But we took this decision to let them go. So,
Got it. Okay.
but we will keep an eye on her. Allora
Yeah.
vado a posare. Io devo un po' tu. I will leave you with Mattia. I'm gonna to put this back.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, that's
she's here.
awesome.
She's real.
Yeah.
He got
Proof
beaten.
proof that the black okay.
Man,
You guys
every
you
snake
guys
in this house, every snake in this house wanna kill me. Really,
yeah.
the Asian species, really, they are so nice, but they are so aggressive. Always they bite. Sometimes I don't enjoy because I have also three like monitor lizard. Like three
Okay.
monitors. Yes, and
Yeah,
that's
you
for
got
me
the
is
green
fun.
tree monitors, right? The green
Green
tree.
and also have the blue ones, the
Okay.
micrae.
Nice.
That's for me is
Very
fun.
cool.
That's the most it's very
Yeah.
different because it's a completely different species. They you can play with them, you know.
Right.
It's completely different. Yeah, the snakes is nice, but it's fine. But just to make like new morphs, for example, but with 3 monitors, it's amazing. So yeah, that's my fun, you know.
Yeah. Very nice. Now if I wanted to touch on before we left the rhino rat snakes.
Yeah,
The
tell me.
Hainanensis. The
Yeah.
I've been interested in those, and I'm curious to hear your opinion because I know you guys have them. What do you think, like, that they deserve that full species title as Gonyosoma hainanensis? Do you really find them to be that different from Belengeri?
No,
Different
No,
enough to be classified a
what do you
different
say?
species?
said
Ah, yeah, of course. No, not different species. It's subspecies, you know.
I brought one here, also very bitey. This is in Hainanensis, and
Okay.
I think that
It's a subspecies. You cannot make it a different species, of
it's a
course.
I mean,
subspecies, and
it
how
should be, if
different they are.
anything, it should be, if anything, but it's not, because I believe they labeled it straight up Gonyosoma hainanensis
Mm.
That's
as if
because
it's
of the
its own
roster
species.
scales.
Yeah, the rosa, the color, you know, it's
They have 4 roster scales instead than 3, so that's how you
Okay.
can
no, but
distinguish
you
them.
can
But
see if your eyes, you know, you can see immediately it's the same species, but
there is something
there
different.
it's a
Okay.
subspecies, you know.
Like
Okay.
the color is like really, really that lime green.
Yeah,
Like this
Yep.
is still an ontogenesis, but
it's lime, you see.
It,
that's a
yeah,
very
it's very
light
bright.
green.
Yeah,
Yep.
Uh, they have the same body shape, but what we have seen, we kept I think 5 or 6 Hainanensis.
they grow really slow.
Yeah,
You know, that's the main difference.
and they are more aggressive.
Yes,
100%.
they grow really slow. If you
Okay.
compare with Bulengeri, it's completely
The temperament is more feisty. They are more
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, Bulengeri, mine are really calm, you know. I mean,
How are your rhino rats? They are calmer as well.
They're calm. They're very
yeah.
calm.
No, no,
Normally,
Yeah.
normally they are calm, but the Ananensis, no, they are
this
crazy.
guy Iron Call.
Yeah.
We
The
only
female,
have
she's a
3 now.
savage with food.
So yeah, that there is a kind of difference that you can see, but you really need to have an eye, you know.
Yeah,
Be-
you need to be an expert breeder,
you,
otherwise you can't.
you need to understand what's the difference. I
Got
think
it.
as adult phase, when they are like at the end of the ontogenesis, you can see the difference. Yes, I saw some adult Hainanensis came through the import, and they were like this green. So it was like really, really kind of huge green, a lime green. It's not like
Got it.
that deep dark green of an adult normal bull and jerry. They have a difference, but I also have to say that some of them in the wild get mixed up because they are in the wild. You cannot control breeding, and some of them are just a mix of the both species. That's why I think in the captivity you can find many different colors of rhino rats.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Um all right, so done with rhino rats. Now I want to move on to the bull snakes because I always find it I find it super interesting when, you know, people in other countries have, especially like our native North American species. So how
Yeah.
did you so how did you get started with the bull snakes? And by the way, you guys have some beautiful animals. I mean, some of the
We will
reds and
show you
some of the
some.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of those bull snakes are awesome. So how did that begin?
Because of Chinese demand.
Yeah, but also it's a nice species. I mean, it's quite a lot that it's on the market. Like first bull snakes, I saw them probably 25 years ago. It's
It's a long
real,
time.
yeah. It's a lot of time. It's on the market, and of course the morphs.
The genetic.
For me the best thing is to have like new morphs, new coloration. You can work with, and also it's a nice species to keep because it's quite calm and they grow a lot, and
The babies are easy to start.
yes, so it's easy species to work with, but at the end you have a lot of like nice things.
Satisfaction,
Yes, nice things back.
This is one of the species that for us survived to our selection, because we kept and breed many species, but at the end we made a selection of it. We say, okay, Chinese like car snakes and bull snakes and king snakes and this and that, but what we really like. So we focused on few species, and one of those was like bull snakes, because
So much fun with bull snakes.
so much fun. We both come from a school that in Italy it's like a scientific school. So you go there and you study biology and you study genetic and you study all the things about coloration of reptiles and how they come out. And bull snakes, I think, is one of the most interesting species, because even if you buy a normal bull snake, it will come after with 6 or 7 het genes that they carry on. Like, yes, and that's the most fun part for us. Breeding them and have surprise.
And you can still, make a lot of new morphs, combos. You can do whatever with them.
We like colors and we like things. We just get away with car snakes because I don't know. I like car snakes personally. I started with them, but it's not a species that makes me into it. You can breed car snakes. Maybe at 2 years they are 400 grams, and you breed them. But bull snakes, they need time. You can breed early, but
that's also the good thing of like breeding animals as hobbies. You can always change. I can't believe there are persons that they start with car snakes and they are still breeding car snakes. I don't think so. It's quite impossible.
Like they don't have
it's
curiosity.
Nice, it's nice to change, to have like to deal with new species,
a challenge,
a new challenge. You can learn new things. I think it's really important. I mean,
I want to show you that this guy is still here, pointing at that.
Yeah, getting ready to strike.
So bull snakes are super cool for us.
Yes.
But the most wanted at the moment, it's a wall white snake. So what in bull snakes we call blizzards. Blizzards are a combination of 5 genes that brings you to a total white snake without any pattern and any color, which we found beautiful, but not the most attractive of bull snakes. Like we are focusing a lot of red specimen, and that's what we want to work with. The red ones for us are the best. Like you saw on our profile, you see some red ones that are just like red, and every morning I woke up and I go check at them. I'm like, it's a pleasure.
Every day they are more red,
It's a pleasure to see them, So and we want to make a combination of this color with other morphs and make something nicer,
Got it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Gonna leave you with Mattia taking a bull snake back.
Prendi uno di quelli rossi. So man, I don't know, probably in few years we will change it again, because that's the good thing, when you breed reptiles, you can always choose, whatever you want. I mean, just study a
Right.
little bit about the species, give them the proper way to keep them, and it's challenge. Every time it's like this. I started like 3 years ago with 3 monitors, and I'm totally in love with them. But I had to study, of course, to the humidity,
Yes.
how to feed them, the UV. They need huge terrariums, But for me, it's like a restart mentally. I like
Yep.
this. I can't breed like all the same species for all my life. It's not possible for me because I
Yeah.
get really bored. Of course, you have to think about the money, the company, of course, but I always try to match, this thing
Yeah,
together,
of course.
working together. Yes,
Yeah, and now because of what you guys do, it does, I don't want to say it like puts you in a hole, but it does, like, you know, because of how much you supply around the world, like it does, I
yes,
guess, force you a little bit to keep a certain amount of a certain species and whatnot.
yeah,
Okay. Very cool. All right. And then you know what? You've been talking about them the whole night. Let's talk a little bit more about the king rat snakes. I had your buddy John on the show a
yeah,
couple weeks ago. We talked all about the king rat snake morphs, and I'm assuming he got a lot of those through you guys in some
yes.
fashion.
It
But
both
yeah,
it both a lot from us. Yes,
yeah.
John.
Is that where your guys'
Oh,
Look at this.
but we need
Oh,
to show
man.
it in some way. Let's try to put it in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
But I'm so sorry that the resolution is so crap.
No, it's
but
okay. No, I mean that's showing pretty well still.
I'm gonna try to watch it out later and see if the color went through that. But that's in shed actually. But
Yeah,
I
that's
want to show
amazing.
that this is the best part that I
yeah,
really like.
Yeah,
This
it's
kind of,
really
yeah, white and red tail, and I think this is one of our favorite morph, which is the red albino. There are some breeders in USA that are not very well known, I have to say, because they like to stay behind the scenes, and they don't want to deal with the customers, so they just
right.
give to us their clashes. We get lucky because we can select the best specimen to keep for us.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's the best thing. So this is one female that we are raising up, um, and it's for sure one of our favorite moths. But why it seems so bad?
It might show. It's actually showing pretty good for you guys now. Back when you were showing the melanistic rhino, it was a bit worse. But right now, it looks
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
Fine. So for sure, bull snakes right now it's I think one of our favorite species after the king rats. You need to love king rats to keep them. You cannot keep king
Yes,
rats
No,
if
no,
you
no.
love them because they are. It's not a snake that I would suggest to a beginner.
definitely not. Between the
No, you
size,
can't.
the temperament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But bull snakes, they're quite okay. They can be hissy. They can how to say pff, like this.
Yeah, they do a lot of they do a loud hiss,
Yes,
very loud.
but in fact, just few of them will bite you. So
Yes,
it's a pretty calm snake. Once you handle it, they don't musk. They don't go crazy. Still, you cannot bring it to watch a movie on the sofa, but it's a nice snake for beginner, I
Yeah,
think.
but it's a snake, you know.
Right.
It's not a doggy.
We had a question from the chat. They wanted to know, FJ Reptiles wanted to know, what was the most difficult species you've ever worked with?
I do have a suggestion, but I'll let you talk first because you are the breeder.
The most difficult.
Come on, pick one.
I think probably king rat snakes.
King rats.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I'm talking also about breeding. For all other species, most of the species you have a system to breed them.
I just want to make a little thing that Mattia, before meeting me, he was a breeder of pythons, carpet pythons,
Carpets.
Okay.
all kind of python, Molurus
Yeah.
pythons. So he bred a lot of snakes.
Bull
So
pythons.
if
a
he
lot.
says now king rats, then
Yes.
I'm curious to hear
Because
as well.
king rats, and it's not something fixed. For example, you do hibernation for bull snakes, that's the system, and it
Yep.
works pretty well. With the king rat snakes, not like this. Probably there is a problem with I don't know, too much stress for the female. They reabsorb the follicles, for example.
Okay.
It's really difficult because they are too shy and they stress too much.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing in these years of breeding them. There is nothing you can say. Okay, that's the rule.
Yeah.
That's the rule. Okay, we respect the rule. We do hibernation.
We get babies.
We get babies. No, it doesn't work like this with the king rat. Because if the female probably
decide that is not the moment.
Yes, 2 weeks later she made. She said, "Okay, there's too much rumors. There is too much noise in this house, or I don't know. I feel too much stress because you handle her too much. She reabsorbs follicle. Is done. You cannot have babies.
On this side,
that's the thing. They decide. That mostly they decide. It's not you. I know how to."
Yeah. So I was gonna say. So let me ask this: if you, are you at least maybe consistent with like percentage of how many will go? So if if you breed X amount this year, how many are actually going to produce for you, or is it never concrete? Like, is it really all over the place every year?
No, all the species, all the rest, yeah, but king rat snakes, no, there's nothing fixed for me.
We were talking about this yesterday. Mattia told me something. He's always the one who talks about breeding options and so on. So he told me, there are some people that maybe breed 100 females of a species, and of course they succeed and have maybe 1,000 babies because of 100 females, 80 do their job. But with us, it seems crazy, but we have in each season maybe 30 or 40 females of colubrids in total, of all species. So bull snakes, baron racers, and king rats, and goniosoma, and whatever, dry marcon. In total, it's maybe 30 females each year that we change, but that's it. So if half of the females will flip for any reason, you will not know. And during those years, I can agree with Mattia about the most difficult species, because in those years I've trying to collect a lot of information from other breeders. And for example, last year, there is a very good breeder, old school as well, from Holland, which is Rob Cool. Rob Cool has, it was one of the first to have king rat snakes morphs in the market in Europe. And last year, I was keeping asking him about babies because he is also one who sells us to make our customers happy. So I was like, "Come on, Rob, what about this here?" He said, "Look, there is someone who is making homeworks next to my house, and there is a huge noise and vibration to the wall every single day for the last month, and most of my females, they all reabsorbed the eggs." So this was for me a shock because I was trying to find an explanation for what happened to us. uh, One time we had a female that we couldn't breed, but we could feel the eggs inside. We were like, this female is pregnant, but it's not giving us eggs. So we
Right.
went to a vet, and he made an ultrasound to check the situation. And he said, okay, this female has eggs which are 9 centimeters long. 9 centimeters, I don't know how many inches, maybe three inches long, and they have a very thick shell. So these are eggs she has to lay.
Yeah.
After 2 months, she absorbed everything. And the vet
Really?
said, for me, in my personal experience as vet, he is working at the university in Belgium. He said, for me, this is not possible.
Yeah,
It happened.
that's not possible, but it
So
happened.
that's why with
Wow.
king rats, you're never
You
sure
never know.
about.
There
You
is
never
nothing,
know. Especially because we work with lots of animals that were imported, so they were probably farm raised or even white coat. So they are even more wild. I don't know how to say the behavior. It's more
Right.
ancestral. So they
Yep.
really feel things that we have no idea about that. And we tried hibernation, non-hibernation, cycling, and we just understood that king rats, they
so
decide what to
yes,
do.
they decide for you mostly. I mean,
Okay.
it also depends on the females, on the character of the female. There are many things, but mostly, I mean, if you wanna do a business and you wanna how to say
Make money.
make money of it from the king rat snake is not possible, man. We keep them because
Yeah.
we have some project, and we wanna do
But
new
it takes ages.
ages, and it's not like you cannot make
It's
money
not
off.
consistent. It's
Yeah,
not
It's not
consistent either,
consistent.
like
If
you
you want to
said.
make real money, you breed a lot of bull snakes, you breed a lot of hognoses,
Blue
the season,
racers.
blue razors, for example. But king rat snakes is just more for like fun, to
Right.
It's for our pleasure.
yes.
Also, it's not a snake that you can suggest to a beginner.
A beginner, you cannot suggest a snake like this for a beginner,
When someone comes and say, I would like a bull snake, a king rat snake, can you tell me more about that? Can I buy one? And the first question we do, it's like, is your first king rat? Do you have other snakes? Do you have knowledge about snakes that are not so calm?
But listen this story. My first king snakes, I saw it, I think probably 20 or more years ago, and a friend of mine from Rome, he made like an import, from Asia, and he got a lot of like coxy, stuff like this, the bamboo rat snake. And he
Yeah.
got two king rat snakes. One was a baby, and the other one was a kind of sub-adult, and I bought from him some snakes, and he said, take these two snakes because for free, take it please, because they are crazy. I don't want them. I even didn't know what it was. I had to check because at that time was no internet, so I just checked on some books. I discovered it was king rat snakes, and he gave them for me for free, And
Okay.
man, was
He
crazy.
said, do what you want because I don't want those snakes at all.
Yeah, like after 1 year, I see. Okay, it's not for me. I
Right.
gave a friend as a present.
But then
That was king rat snake at that time.
I don't know how. Yeah, because a snake that bites you, Masks. It
Masks.
smells bad and it's aggressive. It's not
It's
easy
fast. You know, you open the terrarium, they just jump out.
Why would you
Okay.
keep it? I mean,
It's like it's better to keep a king cobra. You know, it's more easy because you know how to deal with venomous snakes. You know, so
king rats are
you are
nasty.
more prepared. You know, for it. But king rats are crazy. But that's
Yeah.
also the good. I mean, the beautiful thing of the
Yeah.
species. You know, because it's still
Isn't easy.
wild animals. You know that
It's a challenge. It's a fun challenge.
They
and
are
it-
smart.
and and you cannot tame. I mean, also in the years, for example, first corn snakes, for example, in the past they were a bit more like aggressive. Now they are really calm, you know, because
Yep.
with selection, now it's like a pet, you know.
But a king
But
rat
the
is a
king
king
rat
rat.
snakes in 20 years, they will stay the same. They will not change. It's impossible because the character of the animals, the in genetic information are too wild. You cannot tame them.
But we like that.
But that's also the part that we like, you know.
Right. Gotcha. We had a comment in the chat. Someone was asking, do you guys know Philippe? I don't want to butcher his last name. I know he's like a very old school person in the hobby.
We
Holandese.
don't know
No.
him, but it may be probably one of the best breeder in the Europe because it says he breeds blue race, Rhino rat,
Chinese king rat. Never heard about.
Dei
I
Vosgiroli.
think it's from Holland, probably, or
No, the
Belgium.
Vosgiroli can be like even Chats or
No,
I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he wrote a book. It might have been on Crested geckos. I could be mistaken.
Do
I
you
know
know
he
him?
did a. I know of him.
no, never heard about.
We
Never.
don't,
Okay.
but we are always hoping to meet new people, especially
Yeah.
from the old school terroristic, because I think
It's really necessary, man.
Yes.
Because right now you have a lot of kids around.
nobody it's old enough that says, okay, I've learned anything. Everyone who comes
Yeah.
to us and then we start to talk, we learn new things, and it's amazing. I mean,
He lives in the
He
US.
lives in the
he's
US.
US.
No,
We don't
no.
know him, but we would be happy to know him since he breeds a lot of things that we like. So maybe we will try to catch him up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then let's talk a little bit about the Barons racers, because I know that's another big part of your guys' projects. And again, you guys and John have very similar interests.
Yes.
We talked Barons a
That's how
couple
we
weeks
are
ago.
friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna grab some of them now.
You know, we copy each other. You know, that's the deal.
Oh, Blue Rays, King Rats.
King rats. Okay, king rats.
No, the truth is that we found out that we had so much in common, and this was the main reason why last November we decided to have an holiday over there, because we had to meet this guy.
Yes.
It's been like, I think, six years that we knew each other.
Okay.
We've been
Yeah.
working together without any issue during this last years, which is like super special, because normally
Yeah.
if you have a supplier, there is a point that something goes wrong. It happens. But with Jonathan, everything was always so smooth, and both of us, we have a great relationship with him. It's been like going like a river in that way, and we had to meet him a day or another. So we were so happy to meet him, and he has an amazing collection. And I want to show you one of the snakes that is from his breeding, actually.
Okay.
Kept for I think 3 years now, maybe 4. I'm gonna grab it in a bit. I'm a bit lazy
Okay.
now. It's a blue racer. It's a male, and it's very beautiful. And I think that blue racers are this kind of snakes that you can work on with selection in a short term.
Yes.
Compare it to rhino rats, because they need to hatch and they need to go through ontogenesis. You don't know what is going to happen in 2 years, how the snake is going to turn with this color.
Yep.
But with the blue racers,
No, the genetic works better.
yes,
much
I
better.
think you can really select like blue racers that are born blue,
Yeah.
with the blue racers that are born greenish, but they will turn blue eventually.
Yeah.
And nobody says that the greenish that are born are less blue as adults. They can be the same blue as the blue as born. They're just more valuable because Asian market, Asians, they want blue out of the egg. Out of the egg
Yeah.
blue,
Okay.
amazing. Out of the egg green, turn blue. I like that. It's not okay. But with them, you can make a selection on a short term. And I think that Jonathan is making an amazing job with them. So he will be our forever firm point about blue racers. At the
Awesome.
Yeah.
moment, I think we have 4 females breeding this season and about other 7 females growing up for the next years. So
Yeah, we are keeping a lot, because it's the main target for
that's for our
all the
job
world.
part.
Yes, that's real
Gotcha.
job, and
Gonna
we need
pick
to
up
do
one.
it because it's real money, and
Yeah.
and also we want to select it, because in a few years you can have like really blue animals, you can
Right.
also select it like on light blue, dark blue, it's and in a short time. That's the good thing,
Yep.
which is really important, because if you do it as business, time it's the most important thing, because the trend always change, and you have to follow it. You cannot do whatever. If you are a hobbyist, okay, it's fine. You can have all your life, you can do whatever, because you are a hobbyist. But if you are like you have a company, you have to go fast. Yeah.
Yep. I gotcha.
Yeah, and they are so amazing, man. So
Yeah.
it's one
Very
of the
cool
most
animals.
incredible. Yeah, one of the most incredible color on a snake. Really, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why
Awesome.
you have to work with, but in a short time, because the market
Right.
is going so fast. You can't believe it's. I mean, you can imagine, but it's so fast. Each year, everything is changed.
Okay.
Let's see it.
So that's a blue racer that came from Jonathan.
Okay.
Oh
Wow.
my god, I don't like the quality of the video, but
No, I mean you could see how like powder blue it really is.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
yeah,
Yeah. It's awesome.
he's a very nice guy. And it takes a lot of time to grow. I don't want to say that they are slow growers, but I think the females need time. The male can breed quite earlier by the age, but
Right.
we will test this season, because we had some very small size males that were ready to breed because they had sperm plugs. So we decided to give them a try. So we will see the results this year. But I think that the females in general, they need a whole 3 years to grow.
Yeah, 3 years the
Okay.
minimum. The minimum
Yeah.
is 3
And
years.
I didn't realize how big females got until I started this podcast and had a few guests with Barons racers, and like I didn't know they got to 7 feet and like pretty big,
Yeah.
big around.
They grow so big.
We have a huge
Yeah.
female that I would like to take, but she's not gonna fit in the
Yeah,
in
but
the screen.
also it's pregnant. It's
Yeah,
better
she's
that we
pregnant.
don't take her. Yeah.
The breeder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There is something that I want to say about size and snakes and breeding that we have learned with time. There was a time not long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that we were like thinking like still old school. that females need to reach a size to breed, because after that size, if they breed and they make eggs, they will not grow more. I want to say that this is a false myth. This is not true, and it's not that we breed small females, but I have to say that if a 3 years old a female can breed, she's not that adult size as people think. They say, okay, I wait 3 years and then my female is full grown and I can breed her. This is not true. Snakes will grow until they are 10 years old and even more. And if you
Yeah.
breed them at 3 years, they're nice in size, but don't expect that they stop there. We breed this
Right.
barn racer female last year. She made a ton of eggs. She made 2 clutches of 16 eggs each. So she made
Wow.
32 eggs in total. And she was just 3 years. Yeah? She was not a massive female. She was maybe 160 centimeters, which is, no, I don't know. But
No, but the fact is that you have to.
they keep growing.
Yes, they keep growing, of course. But if you breed too early, of course, the final size will be reduced.
That's true. But
And it depends on the quality of the breeder, because there are some snakes that they will be good breeder,
Yeah, that's also
and
true.
there are some, because it's just natural selection, they will be very bad breeder, that's
Got it.
natural selection. On a clutch, just one can be a good breeder,
the best one.
the breeder that will be a breeder in the wild, but not all of them, of course. You can try to,
Yeah.
but it's not like this. That's another
Got it.
secret of a good breeder: selecting the right animals to breed in the
And
future.
keep it. Of course, if you have a clutch of 20 snakes and you have one that is exceptional, that eats immediately, eats everything, and has a very high
And grow fast.
growing rate,
Yes,
then
because a good breeder grows so fast.
you need to
immediately.
keep it. You need to keep it because it's the secret to have very strong breeding in the future.
And you're talking any species.
Yeah,
Any
any
species.
species.
Yeah,
It's-
I agree. I agree.
Yes,
Any species.
it's natural
Yeah.
selection. It's not. It's normal.
I really think that
Right.
3 years old is the minimum for every species, but people don't need to expect that after the first clutch, that's the size of a female. Because if
Right.
you wait and 6, 7 years old females are massive.
Yes.
Like we have a couple of Dreamarchon females. Last year they breed both of them and they just doubled the size since last year's. They were
Really?
they were 3 years old, normal black tail scribbles, you can expect a normal size. And last day, I don't see them every day because he is the breeder. So I just go when I want to make pictures and stuff like this. So I took one out to show to a friend of mine, and I almost couldn't carry because it was like I'm a very short girl, so I was like, that's very
Was
big.
huge.
It was a huge female compared to last season. So that's where I thought about this. If they make a clutch, they don't grow more. This is not. I don't agree with that. I think they just need a minimum age. Sometimes you have
Okay.
2 years old females and they are super fat. So you're like, okay, they are weight. Let's go. No, 2 years old, it's not a good year to breed snakes. There are exceptions for the snakes that Mattia was telling me, for the very good breeders out of a clutch. But in general, I think 2 years old is not enough for a female snake to breed.
No. It's risky,
It's risky. 3 years is okay. No dystocia. Also, don't feed them too much because obesity is also a very big problem
Yeah,
nowadays.
especially for this species, it's big problem.
Yeah, for barren raiser, obese barren raiser,
It's very easy.
It's almost a
quite
death
common.
sentence, Barren
Got
raiser
it.
don't do well with obesity. You gotta put
Okay.
him back.
Yeah, sure.
See you in a bit.
Okay. While she's putting that snake back, before we get into some overall talk, because I always like talking about other species that aren't colubrids. You guys seem to have a pretty large amount of crested geckos as well. Are you guys breeding
Yes.
those, or are those snakes you guys? I'm sorry, or are those just reptiles you guys deal around?
No. It's another big part of our
Okay.
breeding group. Yeah, we have like around 60 adults, which is quite a lot. It's a big collection of crested, and yeah, it's a big part of the breeding each year, because we got probably 300 eggs each year, or
Oh wow.
more
Okay.
or less. Yeah, probably this year more. We have also the crested and the chahua. The other.
Yep.
Yes, and this one is more easy. I mean, keeping them is quite easy. They don't bite.
Yep.
They are really calm. The only good thing is to match the pair together very well, about the selection and
Yep.
the colors and morphs. But keeping them is quite easy. I mean, the crested super easy. The chahua is a bit difficult. It's more like, it depends. To keep them, they need more humidity, more than crested,
Okay.
and yeah, that's the big difference I have seen. And about eggs, it's more difficult. I mean, there is not real system. They do less clutch each year. Like crested, sometimes I have like 7, 8 clutch per years, and chahua they do like 2, 3 maximum.
The chahuas seem to be kind of like the intermediate between crested geckos and leachianis.
Yes, exactly.
From what?
It's
Yeah.
right in the middle. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chahua is like a king rat snake.
Chahua is like king racing.
They do the fact they want. When they
Yes.
want, no matter what you do,
Yeah.
if they want to lay, they lay. And then if they want to
For-
stop a lay after 3 months,
Yeah,
they do
for
that.
no reason. You see, probably they made 3 months ago, for example. You go there and say, "Oh, it's pregnant." After 3 months, there
Yeah.
are no rules. Basically,
No
they
rules for
they do
Chahua.
whatever all around the year, and you just you do everything, because we keep like in terrariums, with
Yeah.
UV
Right.
light, humidity stuff, but they do whatever. I mean,
We have
there are
invested
no rules.
quite a lot of money in our Chahua breeding, but it's been 3 years now, and I have to say that we're still waiting for babies.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
We
Yeah.
got several last year. It's not an easy species, and if we would have done this only for money, 100% we would have sold the whole group, because we were like exhausted. We're like, where are the babies? Please, just make some eggs, and then maybe they
Yeah.
make eggs, but then they die halfway to go, and then you don't know why.
No, it's
So, but it's a species that we like, and we just upgraded their terrarium. We made the new ones, and so we are keep going. We will wait.
Yeah.
We
I gotta
like,
I gotta say, I don't know if you guys know who MJ is. MJ was just at Brian Susan's place, Sundown Reptiles, and
oh
checking
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, he
we
was.
got a gecko from him.
I was gonna say, so he was there checking out his chahua collection, and those definitely got me interested. That video, by the way, MJ, great vlog you did at his place.
Yeah,
It's on
he
his
has
vlog
amazing
YouTube channel. Yeah, Brian's collection was amazing. That
crazy.
was yeah.
So one of our male is from him, and it's one of our favorite actually. Like we love those insane big white necks, and he has the
Yeah.
best. I really enjoy watching them. They're quite calmer compared to Crested. Like Crested can be psycho, but
They
Chahua,
just jump around with no sense. Chahua, they
Yeah.
are really like, okay, they move
let's go
more.
calm.
Yeah, they are more calm.
Life is easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the geckos, it's more my side, like
Yeah.
Mattia is a snake person, definitely, but I really appreciate him because he never say me no. And every time that there is an an import, and a reptile expo, I never tell him how many animals are coming home with us. It's always a surprise for him. And then we come back home and the couriers arrive and he opened the box and he's like, what the fuck, Augusta?
No,
When did you buy all those animals?
one of the last, well, I don't remember when was.
It was September. I do remember.
A customer canceled a part of like
An order.
An order. He canceled, and normally we do like when we travel with the animals, to Ham, it's always 2-3 boxes, to go there. And normally when we go back, it's like
one,
maximum one.
Because
sometimes
we sell, we sell.
At that time, we arrive with 3 boxes back, and I say, "What the hell?"
He said, Augusta, what are all those animals that came back? I was like, a customer canceled an order, and I thought it was good for us to keep all those animals.
Yeah, but was really good because now our breeding is bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it was a lot of bull snakes that we bought, and we sold by that time to this Chinese customer because he really wanted them. But I kind of regret it. Sometimes you sell an animal, it's also our job, so we need to live with it. So we were like,
right,
okay, we need to sell, and we sold those animals. And then one day he was like, I cannot take them anymore, so I don't know. And I was like, don't worry, I have a place for them. Mattia will sort it out.
Oh man, so much work with reptiles.
It was so much work, but for me it was so much fun.
Yeah. FJ Reptiles wanted to know, in your opinion, what is the best show for colubrids in Europe?
We have a very strange opinion about what's the best show for colubrids in Europe right now. There is an amazing show. As Mattia told before, we have 2 main expos in Europe, and one it's Terroristica Ham, which takes place in Germany every 3 months, and the other one is Terraria Houten in Holland.
Yeah.
Nowadays there is also Verona in Italy. We don't go because we don't like Italy anymore, but it's also a great show, they say. But the best show where it shows only snakes are allowed. So it's called Snake Day, and it takes time 2 times a year, 1 time a year in October.
Yeah, it's the same expo of Houten, the same city.
It takes place in the
but
same
different organization, and you can only sell and show snakes.
Only snakes.
Only snakes.
They have a huge venomous room, like nothing compared with the Terroristica Ham. It's like a huge venomous room. So for all the venomous lovers, I think it's one of the best show in Europe. And also the fact that you can go around in a whole expo and just seeing colubrids and snakes in general, it's something nice,
Yeah.
Because nowadays expos are, I think in USA as well, a lot about crested geckos and leopard geckos and boas and ball pythons. But at that expo, you can really find some really amazing colubrids, especially because it takes place in October. So it's right after the breeding season. So all the best is there. Yeah. So I really suggest everyone who wants to see some very nice snakes to visit the Snake Day in Holland. It's a great expo.
Yeah, it's the best. There are only snakes, and you can find every kind of species, even venomous snakes. You can find king cobras, for example. It's crazy show, really.
The only bad note about the Snake Day is that they don't sell beers at the expo. So bring the beers.
We don't know why, but
most of the shows here, you got to bring them yourself.
Really?
Yeah. They
Oh
usually don't
no, oh
have beer
no.
at the concession. Sometimes.
Oh
Uh,
no, in Germany, for example, they
they sell
sell
every
beers
kind
and
of alcohol,
Okay.
you
every,
know. Yeah,
Gotcha.
you can,
you
yeah,
can get wasted at the expo,
yes.
basically.
Too much stress, you
Nice.
know. They know that there is too much stress all around, so to release stress, they sell a lot of alcohol. I think it's the only way, because man, terroristic arm is crazy. It's
Yeah.
about all about the money, you know. Everything is about the money. There is no fun. There is no, yeah. The fun is that you meet your friends, you know, from all around the world. That's the good thing. But the day working there is crazy because there are too many people. You can't believe. It's full of personnel going around trying to making deals, delivery
Yeah.
animals, pick up animals, a lot of money involved.
But
Imagine
that's
the
because we
stress.
don't have FedEx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everything goes around the Reptile Expo. So the how to say the feeling when you go to a Reptile Expo is like there is a boom of energy of people that, for example, we work 3 months from home every day. We collect orders and we talk with customers and we organize import export. And then the final moment of these 3 months of work, it's the expo. So when we arrive there, we are like full charged, like, okay,
Yeah.
we have to do 3 months of work in just 6 hours of expo. So
Gotcha.
that's all about it, and people love it. Well,
yeah, and it goes really fast. They open at 10, around 2, 3 p.m. They
or
already, you
it's
know,
gone.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
Just one day, just one
it's
day.
so
Wow.
fast. Yeah.
But beautiful. This makes it special. You know.
Cool. Awesome. So now that we got through some of like your collection stuff, I really am just curious about kind of like the business side of things and just what's going on your guys' end. So one thing I am curious about, because you had mentioned it, what do you have to see as like qualifications for quality of like a US breeder or someone from another country of animals you're bringing in so that you can resell? Like how does that
Yeah.
process work for you guys? Like what's your vetting process?
Well, let's say I'm the one who talks with the suppliers
Okay.
mostly, but Mattia is the one who checks on the quality when they arrive. So let's say that for me, the priority is communication. That's the first thing. When I
Right.
contact someone and they ask with the question, "Where are you located?" I'm like, doesn't matter where I'm located. If I want to buy your snakes, just be sure I can get your snakes shipped to me. So let's talk about that. And then how smooth the process go. If it's a first time deal, I'm quite carefully because I try to do some researches and see if they've sold to
Right.
someone that I know, to check if they got healthy snakes. And um, sometimes this is a thing that you don't know until the snakes arrive to you. But for us, the most important thing is that the snakes are free of mites. Mites can destroy a collection.
Yeah,
Mites
Yeah.
are
that's a very
dangerous.
bad thing. Yeah,
Mites are a pest, and this is something that we do not accept. So if we do a first time deal and you send me a whole batch of snakes full of mites, you're kind of out, because during our export, it's not just our snakes that we
Yep.
import, but it's on risk the snakes of everyone, the reptiles of other people. So this is just why we choose our partner, because he is the one who says this snake has mites. So we ask him to kindly put it in a bag and then in a box and then far away after trading him eventually. So everything depends on our first time deal. If you send us
Okay.
an healthy snake, then we're gonna have a happy cooperation. Money is not a big matter. Like sometimes we don't earn a lot on a resale. I just buy snakes from someone because my customer needs. And in order to not lose this customer going to us to someone else, we are willing to earn just shipping fees or something to make him happy.
Right.
So, not about the money. It's about a happy cooperation and a smooth deal. Like I can pay with the bank transfer. I've been through a lot of Americans that don't trust to give me their bank accounts because they say you can do whatever with my bank accounts. I was like, no, I can just send you money with your bank accounts.
Right.
Like, so whatever. So then they arrive here and maybe Mattia check on them and say, Augusta, this snake is not going to go well. This is not a good eater, or this snake is too skinny for my taste. So there is something wrong. So maybe if we sold it to a customer, we end up to keep him to check if it's healthy or not. So
Got it.
that's also up to Mattia. We have both a critical decision in this point. For me, it's how I deal with a person. And then if there is a problem and I write you back and I say, okay, there was a problem with the snake, depends on how you respond. If you say,
Right.
I give you the snake well, so I don't care what did you do with the snake, now he's sick, then for me it's like finished.
Yeah.
Because there is no conversation to do with it. But if I tell you, look, I got 5 snakes from you and 4 are not doing well, so let's find a solution. I don't ask for a refund, maybe let's have a deal for the next season or something, and then you are able to cooperate with it, then it's okay. I think everyone has to take his own responsibility. So if you sell a snake,
Yeah, for sure.
you need to make sure that the snake is healthy in order to have a 1-week trip over season as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I just recently did my first overseas sale. Came out of nowhere too, but it went well. My animals made it there super safe. The person sent me pictures of them all eating, so it was super. I was super glad to see that they just made it there all right. And they were Texas rat snakes, and those things are savages, so it was no problem whatsoever.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, export, it's not a stressful time for snakes. We think so, but in fact it's not. Like
Right.
snakes are reptiles. They don't need to check in luggages or show up the passport. They're just sitting in a cup and doing a trip for 5 days.
Yeah. If it's an healthy animal and you transport in the correct way, there are no problems at all.
It doesn't make any
Yep.
difference on the health of
The problem,
reptile.
the problem is it depends. It depends if you ship like sick animals, that's a problem.
Or you feed them.
Yeah.
Or you feed them before, stupid things. That's a problem for the snake. But if you do everything correct, then there is no stress because it's a snake,
Right.
Except some species like I don't know, delicate pythons, stuff like this. That's fine. Like I don't know, green tree pythons, for example, or
Right.
yeah. But all the rest, it's really easy, man. They don't stress for nothing.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. So I also wanted to ask, because you guys deal with so many people, so many different countries, what are some trends you've seen over the last couple years in terms of species, and what are some things that you kind of foresee coming in terms of popularity, maybe things you're starting to see? What is that looking like?
Well, I have to say that customer ask us. We have 2 kind of customers mostly. In Europe, not many. In Europe, we mostly have customers who want a pair of something. That's it.
Okay.
And it doesn't really matter as long. market in Europe, it's more about the beauty of the reptiles. People in Europe like beautiful reptiles. So even if you have a very beautiful pair of car snake or a very beautiful pair of rat snake or whatever, in Europe they will go because they see a pair and they see that they are beautiful and healthy. And European people are very passionate about reptiles, while in the USA and in Asia we more find people running after what's the trend now,
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm gonna
always,
do
Yeah.
now.
especially
Yeah.
Asia, it's all about trend.
And in USA, they mostly buy Asian species. As you know, you also keep Rhino king rat, Rhino rat snake. So it's everything
Yeah.
about the farther it is from you, the more you want. So that's
Yeah.
how we work. We get it from Asia and then we sell it to USA what they want. And in China, on the other side, in all Asia in general, they are more how to say superficial about reptiles. They go with the trend, and the trend is like the wall white snake or the wall black snake or
Yeah.
The wall blue
the
snake.
wall blue snake. They are not really after a species and how interesting is the species. It's all
Okay.
white. What is a gopher, a
Yeah,
bull snake, a car snake, but it's all white? I want that.
they
Well,
for
funny enough, you say that. That's what I sold. I sold all white. I sold leucistic Texas rats.
yeah,
A
the
couple of them
leucistic one.
leucistic
Yes,
scalic. Yeah. Yeah. That's what went. So
All
makes
white.
sense.
yeah,
Yep.
So that's it. The market it goes more about this, but for this we keep our suppliers happy because a lot of them make all white snakes. Like a blizzard bull snake, nowadays it's worth maybe more than 1K, but the market is floating. When it gets saturated, it has a couple of years of stop. There is not such a big request anymore, but then after 2 years it spikes again, and then all Asians are like, I want blizzard bull snakes, which is just a wall
Okay.
white snake, nothing else than a wall white snake. And then the prices goes up in the USA as well and everywhere because they ask to everybody, so the prices just raise because the demand goes wild. So it
Right.
all depends on colors. But I have to say that Europeans have a lot of taste about reptiles. They may have not a
Gotcha.
lot of money to spend.
yeah. That's the problem. But about passion in Europe, they are so
Yeah.
passionate, really,
We have
so
Okay.
many
much.
good breeders,
Yes,
like they really know how to breed,
yeah,
like for real. Also, difficult species that probably we were not able to breed. A lot of breeders breed a lot of boiga or I don't know, some of the rarest Asia species, and they do very well. And it's not easy, but they just do because they love. But then maybe they don't have a lot of money to buy new snakes, so instead, there are some USA customers or Asians that have a lot of money to spend, but they just buy car snakes.
Yeah.
yeah. Because they are not breeder over there. In Asia, they just sell them, resell. They
Yeah.
just buy
Okay.
and resell them. That's their activity. They just do this. They are not breeders.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a different mentality. I mean,
A different kind of living the
yeah,
hobby for sure.
it's not hobby
Interesting.
basically. It's just they
Okay.
can sell snakes or they can sell like bags or they can sell. For them, it's the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. And then one last thing kind of before we begin to wrap up, just in general, like the facility you guys have, like what kind of setups do you have? Like I believe you kind of alluded to maybe using some rack systems, you do some terrariums for some other species. Like what does that kind of look like? What's the overall care?
Yeah, we have like mixed. We have
Yeah,
racks and terrariums.
Okay.
depends on the
Okay.
Yeah,
species.
some species they go in the terrariums, of course, because they are more like
Like the rhino rats,
yes,
they need to
yes,
climb, or barren
Yeah.
racers as
barrel
well.
races, but
We also keep some monitor lizards. Of course, they are all in
Yeah.
terrariums, and the chahua geckos, they're in terrariums. But most of the time, let's say we have noticed that in racks they go kind of well.
Okay. Gotcha. What's
Gotcha.
behind you? What's in that setup behind?
Okay, amore, vieni qua. This is the setup for a tree monitor, a
Oh, it
Varanus
is. Okay.
Crested. Yeah, they are in
Awesome.
there, a little young trio.
Okay. Very cool. That's awesome.
So that I think that rack system is very good for breeding purposes. Like if you want to breed and you have a snake in the rack, you have a much more control than in a terrarium, of course.
Yeah.
If you want to just enjoy a pet, you can have a nice terrarium in your living room. Once the snake is big enough, of course, you cannot buy a baby snake and throw it in a castle because he's not going to
Yeah.
be well in it. So they need a tight space and hide and like not a very big environment. So once they grow, you can give them a very nice terrarium in your living room and enjoy. But when you want to breed and you do that for job, especially, then I suggest to give a good size rack, a very good size. Like you
Yeah.
cannot keep a king rat snake in a small bin. No.
Yeah. For sure.
yeah,
All right. Awesome. One of the things I always like asking people as we begin to wrap up is like what does the future look like for you guys? Is there any like what would you say is on the next 3 to 5 year horizon for Colubra reptiles? Any maybe insight you could give, any direction you're heading?
Where are we heading in the future?
in the future.
Mattia is heading to breeding for sure.
That's the until my death, I will breed reptiles.
That's
That's
what
for
he
sure.
wants
Awesome.
to do.
Of
Yeah.
course,
I
you
don't
will
I don't
adapt.
blame you.
Yeah, I will adapt a little bit, about the species, about the morphs, of course. But it's breeding. There is no other way, man. I can't.
Yeah.
He can do differently because
It's
it's in his blood. You know?
yeah. I'm breeder. I born as breeder. I will die as breeder. I can't do anything different.
For me, is to keep
Yeah.
improving about import export. It's something that, as for Mattia, breeding in its blood. For me, logistic and customer care and everything regarding public, and it's in my blood. So I try to keep
Yeah.
improving, and I would like to offer at the end a service that is 360 degrees to the customer. Everything that is needed for the customer for a shipment is there. So communication and professionality and everything you need to help the two sides of the pond to communicate and whatever. Because for me it's important that someone likes an animal. The fact that we are in another country is not a thing to stop you from buying it. So I think it's
Right.
important for everybody to know that shipping is something simply when you know how to give your trust to who. And
Right.
as well, breeding, you can always improve. You never stop to learn as long you respect animals, because respect for animals is
Yeah,
the
it's
first
it's the
thing.
main thing, man. Without this,
Yeah.
you cannot be a good breeder. You can't.
So for me, it's important when you are a new beginner starting to approach to this hobby. Don't ask to a breeder if the snake is happy to be handled or it's tame, because A snake
Yeah.
has to do snake. He has to
Yeah.
be a snake.
I really hate
Yep.
this question, you know.
Has to be respected as a
Sometimes I
snake.
really laugh, man, because so many years, and after like 30 years, you still heard this question.
Yep.
Does it bite?
Does it bite? Is venomous?
You don't know.
Can be a pet? You know, stuff like that. And you say, "Oh my God, gay! No, please."
So we would like to leave you with this. A snake is not a pet. A snake is a reptile and has to be treated as a reptile.
Yeah.
So the less you handle it, the happier the snake is.
Yeah.
So don't think
Yeah.
about that the snake is having any joy to spend the night on the couch with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, guys, this has been a fantastic 2 hours. You guys are
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
amazing dynamic.
All right.
You guys are an
But we need to reply. We need to reply as soon as possible.
To make a
A new one, man.
yes.
Because I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
I didn't
100%.
expect it was so satisfying, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, this was great, and I really appreciate the insight from you guys. You guys are a powerful, dynamic duo over in Europe, and I'm sure I'm sure as I'm growing in like the colubrid world, I'll start to see kind of more of your work and stuff. I've been following you guys for a little bit, but like it's really awesome to hear what you guys are doing for the community, across the whole world, really.
The whole world,
you know,
yes.
Yeah, doing the whole import.
Customers
export.
all around the world is crazy, man.
We think
Yeah.
that economy will go just if you keep it going. Like if you buy from someone, that person will buy from someone else, and the money will keep going around. If you
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
buying because we are scared of something, the economy will stop. So just spend your money on snakes, and
Yeah.
you will make money, and
Don't be-
everybody will
don't be
have
scared,
money.
you know?
Don't be scared. Like
Yeah.
everybody has to have an income to thrive their hobby. So just keep it alive, I'm so happy
Yeah.
sometimes to see what people make after we buy their clutches of snakes, and then they build up new things and they buy new snakes, and that's what we like
the
to see.
economy, it's moving a
Right.
lot around. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. I think is the best
Everything.
thing you can do. And you are helping like families, not big industries like
Small
Yeah.
breeders.
small breeder. They have family, they have kids. For us, it's very
important,
satisfying.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Okay,
man,
Joe.
it was a super pleasure,
Big
man.
pleasure.
Thank you
Yes.
for inviting. Really.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Thank you guys so much. There were like at least 20 people in here. I'm sure more are going to watch it. What do you have to say to everyone who came to listen to you guys live and everyone who's going to watch and listen to the replay?
Don't buy reptiles.
No, we want to say thank you to
No,
everyone,
I'm joking.
and keep going with this hobby,
Yes.
whatever it's your job or not. And if you wish this to become your job, don't give up. Just keep going
And do it in a correct way, honest way,
with passion.
and with passion.
And if you ever sell a reptile and your customer will have a problem, just please work it out.
Yes.
Don't say, oh, this is not my fault. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Work it out, even if it's not your fault.
Yes.
This is our secret.
Try to understand it and explain and talk about.
Yes.
There is always a solution, always.
Never
Yeah.
give up on someone. Just keep
Yeah.
following it. Okay?
Yep. Okay.
But the
Awesome.
biggest. Okay. So
We go.
we go.
Yeah.
We are free,
All right, guys.
free now.
Free to go.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. This
Thank
was
you,
this
Joe.
was
Thank
great.
you, Joe, for the invitation. Thank you so much, really.
Absolutely.
Bye from
No
the
problem.
Italians.
See you next
Yes.
time, man. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah,
You
you
too.
too. You too. Bye.
Thanks. Guys, what a fantastic episode. from this awesome duo of Colubrid reptiles. I think that was a really great episode. Really got some insight into what's going on, across the entire world of reptiles. It's not something we get to hear all the time in the US. I don't think, whether it's a lack of communication between us and Europe or whatever, I just don't think we get to see that side of it, and kind of seeing the global economy of reptiles. I think it's truly awesome. And I really appreciate that they came on and did this, accommodated to the time change and all that. I know there was a little bit of delays, so it kind of made the communication a little weird. But guys, thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. As always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you know every single time we go live. And guys, just hit that subscribe. I'm almost at 900. Get me there. And then get me to 1,000, because we're making that long haul. Other than that, I do have Meteoric Serpents t-shirts available. Hit me up if you want a shirt. Follow me on Instagram. That's where all of my content goes. I post all my animals. I pretty much post everything there. Otherwise, make sure you go support USARK, do all of that. And last but not least, again, the first link in the description goes to the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. If you want to support me, if you want to join a network of great colubrid keepers, it also gives you some perks, some exclusive content on my end and what I'm doing behind the scenes a little bit. Other than that, guys, this was a fantastic episode. This was episode number 25 with Mattia and Augusta of Colubrid Reptiles. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all next week. Peace.